Hello, 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 everybody. How are you guys doing out there? I think I am hearing myself in the other one. Let me see. How are you guys doing? It was a long time. Last week, we were so busy. We didn't do anything. No stream. But today is a stream with a cool hat. And you better stay tuned to hear all about this hat and all the plans I have for this hat. How are you doing? I missed you guys. Thank you for joining in. Let me quickly see what happened in the past week. So I think Garahorn. Oh, thank you for the follow, Garahorn. So, thank you so much. I'm just gonna do my little hat. My hat can take can do the talking here. Every time there's a follow, my hat should not automatically now, but my hat should automatically, well, manually automatically let you know if there's a follow. So instead of doing the good old Capigen that we have here, I'm planning like a little project so that we can do this and hook into the Twitch events, so that we can get this hat hooked on IoT or in the cloud or whatever, and then hook on to do funky stuff for us when something happens. Just like Garahorn followed us, this should pop up. And you see, there's a host from Gerald. So I don't have a host. So thank you very much, Gerald. I'm just going to give you a Capigen, a good old Capigen. Yes, thank you so much for the host. Let's just quickly see. Rick van der Bos, thank you so much for the follow. That was like, I think that was 2 days ago. Rick van der Bos, thank you so much for the follow. And now, 9 minutes ago, or 6 minutes ago, G9. Thank you so much for the follow. Awesome stuff. We are past the 100 follow marks. We are past the 100 follow mark, and I'm so excited because we can actually aim for the next target, which is 200 followers. Let's see if we can get there. For the guys that do not know me, my name is Fani Reinders. I code.net and Azure things. I'm also here to help, and I'm also here to learn, so we can all learn together. And I think that's the best. If we all can learn together, we all can code together. It's a nice, warm and fuzzy feeling. And I think without me talking more shop and stuff, let's just get this thing going and see where are we heading. So if you haven't yet followed me, I'm not forcing you anything, but just look at that. Go to my address, fani.live. That will redirect you to the Twitch homepage of me. And there you can see all the previous broadcasts, all the stuff that we've been tinkering on. And also, if you want to follow the GitHub page, I'm going to pop up my GitHub page in a second. Actually, let's just see if we can get this going. Oh, by the way, what is playing now? Kino, Growing Heart, which is actually a very cool song. So let's see. So this is my GitHub page, Fani, github.com/FaniRenders. So I'm a bit out of it, too less of a stream. Let's do it more often. In any case, I'm working on this new thing called Armor. It's codenamed .NET-AZ. What that is, it's a way to generate ARM templates. Now, what is an ARM template? Well, it stands for Azure Resource Manager. For the folks that do not know what Azure Resource Manager is, I suggest go check out the link that I'll be posting soon. Azure Resource Manager. Let's see. So there we go. Azure Resource Manager. It's a way of provisioning your infrastructure in Azure using kind of a declarative syntax. Right? Saying that? Declarative syntax? Hope so. So you target a resource group. Now, a resource group is just a grouping of resources, and it's declared in a JSON-ish format. So I'm going to see if I can find an example you can obviously deploy your stuff via the portal, the Azure portal, right? But programmatically, you can also deploy your infrastructure using infras code. Now you do that by posting a JSON object, almost like this one, to an endpoint, and it will provision it for you. Let me just see if I can get a proper one. Let's this one. I don't know. Let's just here's this other ones. Those samples for. There's of course a lot of samples. Let me just see if I can get one here. Azure ARM template. Let's see. Okay, so basically that's the structure, right? With the parameters, variables, functions, resources, and output. Now, JSON is not always the best, you know, for these kind of things, especially if you're a .NET developer. You could do YAML, but moi. And for the guys that has been following, I've tried doing this YAML thing for this, but it didn't really catch. So I thought, well, let's move to like our program languages like C# and F# and VB, for instance. And then if you take a look at what the guys at Pulumi has done, Pulumi.com, we will get someone here on the show to talk a bit more about Pulumi. This is awesome stuff. So Pulumi has support for .NET Core. It supports, it's a way of deploying your infrastructure using the IDEs or the languages you love. Like in this case, it's JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, Go, and .NET Core. You can create your Azure, your infrastructure, and you can deploy it across AWS, Azure, and I think Google is also a platform. Quite cool, I must say. The thing is, just see what I mean. Modify program. Thing is, it looks like this. TypeScript, right? So you can do it like this, or JavaScript, Python, or C#. This is what I like, you know, to create an Azure ARM template. And let me see, Nick Neem, dude, that cab, saw it on Twitter, had to see it live, dude, it's awesome. Thank you so much for the awesome things. I'm just gonna this is the new one. You can see this. It says .NET all things. That's my mission. We're gonna make this cap awesome. Unfortunately, the version I have is only one color, so it's red. Couldn't really pick green because obviously, look, my shirt is partly green and it's like transparent. And I didn't really want to go for blue because that's kind of a bit distracting. Maybe I should have just gone for blue. I don't know. But in any case, so Pulumi has this way of deploying infrastructure as code using a programming language like C#, for instance, which is very cool. As a developer, this is awesome. But as an IT pro or as a ops guy, maybe YAML or JSON would be sufficient, right? The only thing I don't like about Pulumi is the fact that there's a layer in between. So it's not you and Azure or you and AWS, it's you and Pulumi deploys it. There's that extra layer need to jump, and it has both its pros and cons, I would say, but I'm not a fan yet of that approach. It does a cool div between the previous state and the new state. I would rather have at least lesser layers between me and the cloud. Having said that, that's why we're building this armor thing. Initially just for Azure ARM templates. So the idea is that you can write C# code and it will generate your ARM template. So it gives you an option. If you don't want to use the tool anymore, you continue using ARM templates. So your ops guys or your IT pro guys can still feel warm and fuzzy using JSON or any other tool. When we can choose any other way to generate these things, but the thing is, the main target audience for this tool I'm doing is .NET developers. F#, C#, VB. VB not so much, I would say, but haven't really tested it there. But main focus is C# and F#, I would say. And I was a bit, this project was a bit put on a back burner because I was working on other things during my time. But I think it's time. I think it's time to pick it up, make it awesome. Make it awesome. .NET all things. Let's just quickly go here again. You can see it. .NET all the things. That's cool. I think it's cool. And so quickly going back to the what do you mean, the cap story. So the idea is that I'm going to be reverse engineering in one of the shows. I'm going to be reverse engineering this. I have an app that obviously sends Bluetooth to this cap, so it's completely wireless. And I want to see what's happening. So maybe I can reverse engineer something and send a payload using C# via a Bluetooth device to this cap if someone subscribes or cheers or whatever, or follows. And I can do like funky stuff, maybe show a emoticon or something on the cap. I think it's a cool cool excuse to do like a stream, you know. Okay, so back at this whole thing. So what do I have here? So I've got a bunch of stuff that's not really relevant right now. Got some SDK stuff that I'm going to be throwing away, I would say, because I want to actually mimic the way Pulumi works. Pulumi GitHub. Let's just see if there's a Pulumi GitHub thing. Examples. Base.net should be here somewhere. App service. Done. In here they've got a normal SDK thing, and they target Pulumi Azure. Right? As easy as that. So that's what I want to do. Target Pulumi Azure. So in my case, it's called Armor. So I want to kind of do the same thing. I want to do an Armor Azure thing. But what do I need? I need a few things. In here, now this config I'm just going to remove because some of these things I've done, or because of the tool, I need to remove them. Not needed anymore. And here I'm going to just target say Armor version. Is it relevant? Because happens. Let's kill a few things here. So quickly on that, let's see. Okay, get some music going. Okay, this is supposed to be the core project, right? So we can keep that one open, and we have the abstractions. Abstractions we will use in a sec for the plugin system. And then there's a Armor Azure. Let me just quickly think about it. There's Armor Azure. And I like the way it kind of flows. So you have a deployment run async when it runs. So we can maybe implement something like that as well in here. Okay. The main idea is to target Azure, but I want to keep in mind other clouds as well. So we've got an Armor Azure. It includes all Azure specific things. And we have the abstractions. Abstractions actually can be part of that library there, I think. It doesn't need to be. This is .NET Standard. .NET Standard. This is .NET. What's this? It's a .NET Core app. Is it? I don't know anymore, man. What do you think? Bit lost now. Let me just quickly see where I am. Because in here, that should be the core things, and I think this that should live there. In there, right? So we have that guy. Abstractions, I'm just gonna unload in a sec. So that guy. I'm also gonna unload this guy as well in a sec. So we have that now we need to say that reference. That one. And this system text I'm gonna remove because it has a bug about the circular references. Take that one out. Cool. That should be fine. Okay, so I'm making use of this plugin loader from Nate McCaster. Or Nate McMaster, sorry about that. And I think what I want to be doing is getting this generator to generate things for me. Just move this here and there, default generator. Maybe call this something different. This plugin won't work, will it? Will it actually? Here, let's go and see. Hopefully this will work. I know I'm all over the show. Just keep posted. Just keep around. Darn it. Only .NET Core app. So we would we most probably need to do like an SDK for this. Make this work. Can I use this one? Let's see. For plugins. It needs a host though. Or does it? Yes, I think it needs an host. Let's maybe see if we can get this going without the plugins. I really doubt it. Because the problem I had last time was with actual plugins. It needs a plugins thing. Anyway, so we have this generator. Maybe let's just call this something similar, like Volumi has this deployment run async thing. So if we say armor like that, we call this deployment. Get rid of all these other things. Can we say it's a task And we make this run async. Right, so we add that guy in there. Don't mind that. I'm just going to copy and paste it out of the code. So I can remove this now. Let's start over. Let's remove all the usings that we don't need. Control K D. That's it. I'm missing a curly bracket. Okay. Now, mimicking this in sort of. This is actually giving it a. I see. This is actually giving it a code to run and to execute. Very cool. The way we've done it is with builders and stuff, but this can actually just work the same way, you know. So, in the case, the action, we can just say action. Now that should be an action, and so we can just call this. We call the action. Which let's just call this action. And we can just say action execute. Right? And we can say task return task completed. Oops. Boom, boom. Okay. That runs that. So we could also say here console dot write line running just for now. Okay. Then this we keep. This we can not worry about for now. I'm just going to unload it. Now we have Armor project that has a default generator. In this case, it's a deployment. So let's just call this deployment. Great. And we would need a new project. In this case, it should be a .NET Core app. Call this sample. Actually, the sample here I want to replace. So, the whole thing here I want to replace actually. Let's actually delete this one. Yes. Add a new one. Okay. Go. Armor sample. And Armor is a working title, so we can still play with that, I would say. Okay, so the main idea is that you add Azure to your references. Alright, so because that should give us deployment dot really. Cool, that works. Static. And here we can say it's a task. We don't need this. We can control dot that in there. And we can say run async, right? And then we can pass in an action. Whatever you want. You can look at the, let's return that. So, okay. Does that actually return a task? Okay, so now let's run this and see what happens. Okay. A few things. Okay, so Azure is not compiling because of a few things. Check that out. I think that should work. Come on. Ooh. Okay, JSON property. We will okay. So put that there. Run it. Okay, so it is running and it does nothing. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna skip this song. It's quite irritating. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so what do we have now? Okay, so the idea is that we can do a template using either a builder like this or just a deployment template. The way they work here is obviously get all the stuff that's been doing at the end, return that. It's actually very clean in a way. Declaratively doing that. Right, so that also creates a resource group, which I can't really do. But what we can do is we can let's go to the console, reload that project. It's in here. Could do it like a builder pattern. How would we do that? This just loads all the instances, but I know the assembly already, so you can just load from there. I'm just thinking a good way of doing this. Because we have a deployment template. It's a ARM deployment template. So we could say that given you could just say deployment.run. We don't need to specify all these things because the reason is I don't want to specify things in here. Or maybe we can inject a builder or something. Maybe let's investigate that. Action type of, I don't know. This is where I don't want to get into the specific things. Pass in a would say that's fine, because we want to pass in an array of deployment templates, right? Instead of doing this, it can just run. Here you can actually scan the assembly that's running. This logic here. So we have this. We say it's assembly. That's also ASM. That's the assembly name. We say okay, include that. Oops. And then we could say, no, create me instance of that plugin type. Now that plugin type is low default assembly, get types. Use this. I think it's asm.getTypes and get back to that out. And this is templates. I think that needs some link magic in there. Okay, that's fine. And templates. Which template in templates? I would say that's better. Then we can say, okay, great. Instance. Template instance. I think that's maybe a better word. Nope. Templates. Okay. Create instance as what? It's templates. It's a type. This is also a type. What's the problem? Oh, okay. What? Oh, here. Result. And we can say template instance is. Hey friends, if you just joined us, my name is Van der Wenders. We are doing .NET Core development, a little tool that creates ARM template, Azure ARM templates. Stay tuned. We will do a bunch of cool things. Okay, so what we need here is result. Oh, not actually a result. Template instance. Name. What we're doing here is we're just running through all the templates. Hopefully that will work. Okay, that doesn't include anything. We'll just say run. Now all the stuff that I've just copied and pasted. Ooh. Take that off again. Unload. Control-Shift B. Now let's run the sample. And that broke. It didn't really do anything. because let's debug. I need that loader. Create this entry assembly, which is sample. Yeah, that makes sense. Sample does not have a. So let's say we have a. Actually, one have one. Yeah, just add listing item. This class one. We'll add it. So the idea behind this is that it's using armor models, not really name, but it uses that. So it's an ARM template builder. And this template, it should be an Azure template. The idea is that if you use this, you could actually use it like this. Yeah. There's a web app, and you have an option to override, or you need to override resources, and that's given a resource builder and parameters, variables and functions. You have another resources like this. So now I just want to see if I run this, it will actually pop by and find anything. Does it actually find one? This is what I want. Oh, it's not working. Okay. Does this actually work? Let's see. Hi friends, welcome. Come in and let's see. So it found one template, it created the instance of a web app. It got an instance of a web app. That's the result. So it created the result. Oh, okay. So you say result string. Oops. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Run this again. Boom. Now we should have a deployment template. Output it. Here's the parameters. My parameter 1, parameter 2 with variables. Here's the resources, and that's it. That's how cool this is. So the thing is, this is a resource, part of the abstract class. We actually Azure. Now this should be Azure things. Let's start at the top. So this should be Azure Armor. Or Azure models. Does it even need it? No, it's not needed. Okay, fine. Fill that in. Oh. Move all these stuff up to Azure there. Fill that folder, right? So we can have it as Azure like that. In fact, I'm going to do a control models. I'm going to replace this with namespace. Back a little. Armor. Azure. Do that in my current project. Yes. Okay, so that works. Okay, brilliant. So now we have copy, we have got all these kind of things happening. We will refactor that in a second. And then, so what we need is a few errors that we need to sort out. Because this is obviously in Azure. Okay, so how does this work? So we have a web app that's private to this template. Then we have resources, parameters, variables, functions. And this is just a web app, kind of thing. This can live in Azure Compute, also something. But for now, that's just in here, because that's the core of the things that we have. So let's actually build another one. Let's kill this one. And let's say we have a different one. Let's say we have a class. Let's mimic one. Let's see how close we can get. Azure ARM template sample. Quick start samples. Oh, by the way, which is a very good place to start. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go for web app. Azure web. Oh, there we go. This one. Provision web app with SQL database. Why not? Let's do this. Browse on GitHub. Okay, so we want to do this guy. Okay. What do we have here? We've got a couple of parameters. New name. I've got no idea what I'm doing now, so I'm just gonna wing it. So let's just say web my web app with DB. All that done. And this was an Azure template builder. Maybe I should just rename that to template builder. I think that's maybe better. Instead of having it. Where is this thing, by the way? ARM templates builder. 12. It's in Azure. ARM template builder. Azure template builder, I think that's better. Full dot. No, come on, man. Azure. I want to move it to a namespace. Azure templates. Okay. The thing is, if we do now control dot, we are forced to override at least one thing, is the resources, right? In this case we have, can I minimize this? That's awesome. No, I cannot. Let's just get this music a bit. There we go. Something a bit better for the ears. Resources. So we have a SQL server. With a database and firewall rules. Okay, so let's see. Focus on this guy. So what we can do is something like this. builder.add, right? And we can give it a normal. Let's keep that one as well. Normal resource. In this case, an API version, type, name, etc. Right? We can do that. Or we can make a SQL Server resource class SQL Server. That's a resource, right? And I think just overriding. So public override. Come on, some music on here. What's happening here? Let's see. Keep up is it's fine. Takes the cap. I think that's cool. We'll make this public. Alright, so we have got that. So now public override now. So we could override API version, right? Which is
my style, everybody thinks it's whack, man. Socks and slides since I was running college track, man. But everyone who knows me knows I'd rather die.
In this case, it's the
that. Man, or chilling by the pool. Take a sip, fam. And it doesn't matter where I sit, man. My toes are always toasty. Live, fam. Do some free weights in the gym, man. While you
what else? We have a name.
But my undersoul is steady, no slip, fam.
Type is that.
Like Alicia Keys, you a trip, man. Get your act right, better act right, better shine a light on your
public override.
That's a backlight, and I rap right with that type of swag that'll smack life into cadavers.
That is that. Location. They pass into parameters here. Location. Is that even a best practice?
I got my flash socks on, feeling kinda rad. I'm strolling around Whole Foods looking like a dad. Yeah, I'm on my grind, you know what it's gotta mean. Cold brew next week, picking up my coffee beans. Looking at they side, they eyes, they gotta learn though. I'm basically 50.
Let's default that under resource group location.
If you worry about me, Yoko.
Click override.
Before you say, oh no, before your boy swings back, yo yo. If you get my viewpoint,
Don't type today, what's that?
like the rain in Africa,
location, that's not the thing, is it?
My tips are always free, pro bono. Translate for your boy Chico. Long story short, this footwear, my cheat code. You know my feet are never frozen.
String location, okay, that's already resource group location, that's fine. We don't have to do that. Okay, this is Azure specific things. Okay, that's fine. Properties. Okay, so we could say version. That's it. Okay, so that's the SQL database. Let's maybe do the same thing for SQL DB. Same thing, a version. It's down here somewhere. It's, same version, okay, which is fine. Type is databases. Do like databases there. That's it. Even set these things. So let's do the firewall rules. maybe not now. That's a bit complicated. Implement. Okay, so basically we have these things. We could say, you know, add a SQL server. Right. Will that actually work? A new SQL server. And resources. No, that's not right. That is not how it. Example. Add storage account. What would you do? Okay. Could do it like that, I suppose. Let's say we say the name. What? How can this ever work? Cannot work. This obviously works. So this obviously goes to a... Oh, okay. Okay, well this probably can work. So we can say SQL server. We call it my server. Okay.
Again, I didn't mean to talk over.
I think resources, we can say resources is, for instance, resources
It's for the love for the people, love for the streets, from north to the south to the west to the
or
east, for the sake of this whole earth. Best
or
believe
dot
we gotta stand strong together and make peace. It's for the love for the people, love for the streets, from north to the south to the west to the east, for the sake of this whole earth. Best believe
this R is resources, right? So it's a resource builder. Why is this resource builder?
Stop feeding in the death and see the beauty of living. Free your mind from mentally built prison, cause we live in times of low justice, high crime rates, genocide from Darfur
R
to
dot, come on, why is this not going anyway?
greed and hate, guns, tanks, bodies and bombs making the ground shake. We need to wake up and see what's going on. Rise through the dark
Resource
and
builder,
let
come
knowledge
on.
be dawn. We in the war, so let love be the weapon. Pumping through the streets like a true epidemic.
I need to add.
Fists off your chest, put
For
'em
some
up
reason
to
it
the
doesn't
clouds.
add there.
The only time is now.
We go
Stand
add
or fall down. We shouting freedom sounds from our hearts to the beat. One time for your mind, two times for the beat. It's for the love.
SQL database. Oops.
Streets from north to the south to the west to the east, for the sake of this whole earth. Best believe we gotta stand strong together and make peace.
That
For the
works.
love for the people, love
We call this my DB.
to the south to the west to the east, for the sake of this whole earth. Best believe we gotta
That should
stand
be
strong
fine.
together and make peace.
I got love for the people who live
Okay.
to give blood for the people, shed blood for the people. Might be kneeling in front of a church steeple, man, preaching to the choir, nah, fire for the people, fan. And Mr. Ridnour said they got an evil plan. Even the Beatles said tax men to repossess their life and land with the
Let's
revolver or the
build a
rifle in hand. And
first.
gambling, we ain't the
Okay,
type
add
of man.
SQL
All
server.
political prisoners set free on GP.
And
Recording
we
while
add
fresh,
this
press
guy
the
in
love on
there.
CD. And believe me, it's better to be seen than heard. My God, compliments get twisted into fighting words, but I serve the
Add.
folks. That's why folks be
I think that stops there.
Touched by it enough to want to see a brother rock live. If it's not sincere, not trying to hear it. Hate's just the surface, beneath that they fear us. Since 1521 with the bolo and a shield, I have killed to defend what was never yours to steal. Save the rest for the special occasion. With love for the people, how I measure my patience is for the love.
Okay, so that adds, and then you can go here, add
Love for the people who preceded and now.
web app.
Love for the people who got love for the people who got love for themselves. For the love for the people, love for these streets, from north to the south, to the west, to the east, for the sake of this whole earth.
Okay,
We gotta stand strong
now
together and make
we need to do the web app,
love for the people, love for these streets, from north to the south, to
which is basically this one that we uncommented
whole earth. Let's believe we gotta stand strong together.
conveniently.
For the love for the people,
Okay.
love for these streets, from north to the
I
south,
have one job.
to the east, for the
Just do
sake of
that.
this whole
Boom.
earth. Let's believe we gotta stand
That should be
strong
fine.
together and make
Okay, so web app we will leave because web app obviously has a version. What is the version of the web app, by the way? Yeah. Ooh, we need that as well. So we need a web service plan. App service plan. So call this a web or app service plan. App service plan. Let's call it app service plan. Alright, so that is then a server farm. Yep. And then version, we'll just call the same version here, which is, I think, public override. What's happening with my keyboard? API version, oh my soul. There we go. That should be fine. Hi friends, my name is Fani Renders and welcome to my channel. I'm doing some .NET Core coding right now in front of you all. Please feel free to have a chat, keep me company. I'm listening to some cool music. If you have some questions, just pop the chat. We'll get you going. Even if you follow, look at my hat. Even if you follow, we'll get a follow on my hat. How cool is that? Follow. Do it. In any case, I'm gonna be continuing .NET all things. My quest to do .NET all things. So we have server farms going. Location is fine. SKU. We need a SKU. We need a SKU. Okay, so anyway, what do we have so far? We could say add a web app, call it a name, we say my web app, right? We could also say here add app service plan, my plan, for instance. Okay, and I think we could here also say depends on. I think, isn't it? Properties, SKU, find. There's no depends on. I need depends on in my life. In any case, imagine these other ones. So Marek Wozniak, thank you for the chat. You ask, why do you build an ARM generated tool? Is it not good enough and clearly to create ARM templates manually? Trust me, it is, if you know what you're doing. So I normally author my ARM templates by hand. It's good, it works, but I've had some experience with developers that find it difficult to do the whole JSON-y thing, because JSON wasn't created for authoring these kind of things, doing complex loops and stuff like that. It's as if they're trying to force a square peg in a round hole. So that's why we come up with this tool for C# developers to do the exact same thing. It's just syntactic sugar, I would say. Hopefully that answers your question. Marek, thank you so much for that chat. But the idea is, do we have resources? But we have that. That is our code. Instead of writing all those big code there, so now if we run it, it'll spit out that template, right? Which is it's getting there, right? So it's the idea is it infers these kind of things. Obviously, you can change it. I'm gonna see if I can change this song again. Marek says, okay, I got it. Would you say one of the limits you want to fix is the example nested loops that are not possible by ARM? It could be, but it just gives you access to do so much more in a declarative way. In code, you can do whatever you want as long as it spits out the ARM template or that resource. Think about business logic, think about company-specific rules that you want to apply. You cannot do this natively with ARM. You have to do kind of these tricks, get other link templates, all that kind of things working. You can spit out a compiled version of a template. That's great, right? So you don't have to think about it. And the great thing is you could debug it, and also you could use Roslyn to do like, for instance, funny things. So for instance, if I have this, alright, my web app, it should tell me with a squiggly in C# you're missing app service plan, for instance. And that it can only know because it knows how ARM works, and it knows how the intrinsics of the template language works. So it knows a web app is dependent on app service plan. If you do not explicitly say that, it's going to underline. And that's the idea, to stop you from doing bad things. That's an idea, you know, you can do Roslyn in the as way. So hopefully that answers your question. Now to add parameters to this guy, because obviously we've got a couple of parameters here going. Parameters like skew name, which is type string. It turns out public override, it has parameters. So we can say, you know, folder, add me a string parameter with a default value of f1. And that's called skew name, right, default value f1. Okay, allowed values we're not going to put in because it's actually, I don't even have it in there. Interesting, we need that. We need to put that in. But for now, just put that like that. And we need metadata. We have something here. Let me just see. Allowed values is there. Yeah. Okay. Allowed values is there. So what we can do is we can just copy these list of data here, stick that in here like so. Boom, boom, boom. Oops. Is it V1? Rex says, I understand, but C# is not to fix every problem. Every language has its calls and supported syntax for the needs. True? That is true. Like I said previously, this targets .NET developers. It makes .NET developers happy to be able to not do JSON or YAML. It allows them to all use the tools that they know, like .NET, to do the exact same things. I'm not saying that ARM is bad. I'm just saying it can be better with tools like this. And this is not the one I'm doing is not the best, obviously, because it's just a kind of POC, I would say. But there is a reason why it's JSON, and it cannot cater for all needs, so that's why they choose JSON. But JSON is not the best fit for everything, right? So there's many ways to skin a cat, and I think interesting ways like what Bloomy is doing with this is great ways to do the same thing. I need to allowed values, so allowed values like that, specified, otherwise it won't get away. Boom, 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 boom. Get my gist. And of course, for good understanding, I wish you good luck with the things you do very best. You do very best, by the way. Oh, thank you so much for the kind words. You know, there's a big capuchin just for you. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Sleepy music because it's almost time to go. An hour in. I haven't really done anything useful. Let's use out of positions for unknown argument what? Oh, yeah. Is that even a thing? Name. I see. So we need to say default values. That's that. Okay. Can that work? Can this work? Also not. Can this work? Also not. How did I build this thing? Okay, let's see. Default value, blah blah blah. Okay. Let's say name is that. Default value is that. And we say allowed values that. How about that? Use out of position is followed by an argument, unnamed argument. Okay, can this work? No. What? B1. Not sure I know what I'm doing. Am I missing something or what? Was this the length? Cool. You see, you could create an object collection object. Supports the syntax A, B, C. True. How would I do that then? This is strings, right? So you mean like do that? Can that work then? Because I just want it to be an array. Default value. You know what? Actually, how we had it before was fine because allowed values is an array Object array. This is a string array, right? There's a bug actually. Add string. There we go. This is the bug. There we go. That's what I was about to say. Default value that. Let me say allowed values is that. Come on, that should work. Okay, a name. Out of position. Really? New string. I will fix that later. There must be a better way of doing it. I'll definitely follow what Marek is saying. Just a shorter way. Missing the yes, that's what I have now. Not that. Get rid of this. Yeah. In hindsight, that's what you need. You need that. Okay, what else do we have here? We have a skew capacity. So we have string. It's called skew. Oops. Skew capacity. It's an int, so in this case it's going to be int integer, and default value is 1. Default value is 1. Min value 1, max value 3. 1 and 3. Oops, there we go. Okay, you can do actually that, you say. Will that work? Yeah, perfect. That's great. Even better. There we go. And then we have metadata. Fine, we'll just keep. Okay, what else? SQL administration login, which is a string. That's it. Do that. We need the password, which is that, and it's a secure string, right? So we can go secure string here, like that, and then we need location. I'm not gonna put in location because I don't like doing that here. Variables, interesting thing. Same concept, so the same pattern goes override, void, variables. That gives us a builder that we can go say dot define build. So we have hosting plan. This is plan's name. Okay. Website name. Let me quickly think. Is this in? I think I'm actually testing. Why is? Let me just see. I think my sound was a bit low now. That should be fine. Any case, jumping around. Website name. That needs to be website name. You could also look into making this lambdas, you know? SQL server name. There we go. And database name, which is SampleDB. Okay. Now we need to replace the variables, right? With the variables that we get. Okay. Much better, I think. Put that in there. Let's see, a SQL server. That's the name of the SQL server. We'll just call that, for instance. I'm gonna see if I can find like a helper way of doing this more, if it adds any value, you know, of databases. That's a database name. There's some firewall rules. Might as well put the firewall rules in. That's that. You have your skew and the capacity, so we need to put the skew and the capacity in here. I think skew was skew I think that's a skew name. Stick that in there. Some helper classes as well, I would say, for skews and capacities. That's because capacity here is a int. Oh my soul, why is capacity an int? That's not supposed to be an int. It's supposed to be a string. Come on. Supposed to be a string, because that is that. You have properties, which is name is hosting plan name. Okay. Now needs to be kind of a helper for this. We will do that. Same with web app. Web app has a way. Now these tags I'm not going to put in now. Let's just see. Server farm ID and a name. Let's see. That depends on. Also need to add that. In hindsight, you have that, and then do we have properties in here? Let me just see. Oh, we do have properties. So So we could say, you know what, properties are a new, it's a that. And it is, let's just name and something else. Alright, so what's the variable name? Come on. So we don't have properties. Come on. Of course we do. We have a lot of properties. Don't you think? I'm missing something now. Okay, let's duplicate this properties. What do you all think of my hat now? Oh, it's actually, the app's gone. Hold on. Could do like a chair. I think it's cool. That goes there. Let's just see. I'm kind of overthrown. But for some reason, I'm overthrown. I don't know why. I think I do know why, but probably because I'm having an awesome stream. You know, I'm enjoying myself. Me and my other followers or viewers or whatever you want to call them. This is a thing. Let's see, paste that in. Oh, come on. That's that. That should be fine. This looks a bit like a mess to me, I would say. It needs more strongly typeness. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? But believe it or not, this will actually... I'm missing something. I'm missing another property. Hosting plan name. So could go here and stick that in there. Oops. Like so, I believe. And I think this one can get out of there, like so. Okay. Hi friends, if you just joined me, cheers. I am writing some code, .NET Core code. I'm doing a kind of a cool experiment, creating a tool that generates ARM templates using .NET Core. So for all the .NET developers, we've got you. Now what we want is name. Now that's named, and then we have this one. Suspense is killing me. Stick that in there. Oh my soul. Like so. I think that's much better. This I think reads slightly better. This goes there. Needs to be, I think this reads much better like this. Okay, D, that's fine. Okay, so this is an ARM template. Yeah, you probably guessed that you can actually read everything you need to read. The funny thing is, if I press F5, it should give you an ARM template. It shouldn't break. I think it broke. Oopsie. Come on, did it really break? I don't believe it. Oh. Yeah. About that. Secure string is not implemented. We can just like add it. Like so. Right? We can say it's a new secure string parameter. Pretty much the same thing, right? So return this. There we go. So this is the ARM template. I want to see how it compares to this one here. Obviously my schema, content version is there. Parameters, SKU name, type is a string, default value is F1. I don't have allowed values. We need to put allowed values in there. That doesn't render. Okay, we need to add that. Let's quickly go back. Why wouldn't it add? Ah, I didn't. Let's go allowed values and metadata actually. Allowed values is allowed values. Metadata. I need metadata here. Metadata. String. What else? Metadata is metadata. And type. What is type? Type is string already. Okay, so we don't have to put in that. Doesn't this have? No. Okay, so that's the string ones. Wait a sec. No. Oh, that's metadata. Oh my soul. Metadata. Can that work? Of course it can. What is metadata in here? Description. It's just description, so I can actually just make it a string. Because this is then new metadata. Description is that. Because what is in a, they said resources, and then you have comments. Oh, we need parameters actually. Parameters. We have metadata, which is somewhere here. That's it. What I don't understand. Description. It's like one thing. In any case, let's just run this again and see what we get. The error. Oh no. Okay. I need to override string here. I don't know why I have this in here. Okay. Please work. There we go. That's much better. Okay, now we have the allowed values that's generated. We have got the default value, which is F1. Metadata is an object that's blank, which is okay. But is it okay? Because but fine. That's fine for now. Skew capacity, we've got an int, got default value 1. We've got a min value and a max value. We've got a SQL administrator. There's this guy there. We just have nullable types here as well that we need to take out. Password and everything. There's the variables. Let's go take a look at the variables. There we go. And the resources. Okay, so I think this should be a legit. This is a legit template, I believe. Killing all tabs. But technically we forget about all these kind of things, and all that you have in your application is an Azure reference. Now in the production version this will be a reference to the what do you call it, NuGet package. I think this is still a bit not needed, you know. Because also need to kind of figure out what is the template name for this, because we have got that's a template builder, it's a deployment template. So let's maybe say this is a string needs to have a property in here, a prop, a string, and this is a extension. The extension needs to be implemented. Okay, so that will break our template. ARM deployment template. Didn't I rename this to Azure deployment template? Okay, Azure resource template. Maybe that's better. Now let's implement this now as a implement interface. Oh, there we go. I have to cut this out a second. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. I think we only need to get. I think that's fine. Okay, so here we say, well, it's JSON. Because it's a JSON file, right? When this thing runs, we could say file dot write all files. Oops, go there. Dot write all text. The name is the name var name. I see what you're getting there. We will get there now. Marek, does your tool implement outputs? Not yet, but we'll get there. It's I haven't really figured it out yet. But I think so. I'll check it out now. We've got name. Should we say full name? Or not? Just quickly think about it. We could say file name, hey? Deployment template, yada yada yada. The reason I'm quiet is because I'm thinking, and I think, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Just actually say file name, eh? Like that. Because it turns out that you can, in here, and do that, and we can say this.name, oops, this.name, or get type dot name, will that name as a result. That is true. That is true. And look what happened here. Azure resource template. That's not really what I wanted. Oh my soul. Now it's going to output that. Ooh. It needs to override that one. It's this. How would you get the should be a file name or something. Could we say public string file name top of T. How would we get the file name? Actual child object. We could that should infer the file name from the class name. Okay, so that's why this needs to be a setter as well, so we can actually change it. Okay, so we've got file name there. What result are you talking about now? So I'm talking about the actual result of the template. This one is the parent template, the parent object. I actually want to get the child one and name it accordingly. So the idea is that we have that, but we need to kind of have a extension here as well. So let's say private string extension is, for instance, JSON, right? Or, you know what? Not file name, but we make it the name. I don't know anymore. Get file name, generate file name. This is the, let me just see. So we have a name. We just want to give it a name and then have the function decide dot file name. So we have a name and a file name. A name and extension. This should be private, right? So when this guy builds Azure Resource Manager template in here, give it a name. Yeah, we should give it a name. I think yeah, we should say string name. Just give it a name. And the name should be implemented somewhere. So I think name, we have yet again we have file name. Let's just keep it file name as we have it before. And then we say name here, private read only string as that. Okay, so maybe let's move that guy up to here. Okay. Okay, then we have name. Then we need to set the name. This dot name equals name, right? It will break there because we need to pass in the name. And then here we can just say, because we know we're dealing with some kind of template build. Here we can actually get the type. I'm trying to get a good way of getting the name. Okay, this run async and that will actually say .build. Okay, that builds a template. Okay, maybe pass a name in here. I don't know. Okay. Which means that we can have a template instance dot get type dot name in there. That should be fine, right? So we have that. Now when we run this, we still have that. Bugger. Oh, wait. Okay, so we need to say here, this is the name.json. And we need to JSON ignore, I think, this one. Yes. Okay. Take a look at what's happening now. So we have the sample bin debug core app, and we should have a template here. Look there. Oh, that one and that one. So just maybe kill that. I'll kill all of them. Just run it again. Boom. And then we have our my open with code. There we go. That looks like a proper resource manager template. Oh, API version is not properly implemented. Have to fix that quickly. Test template, API version, wave app. Why is the API version? I That's not right. Let's just do that. Then it will work. 1 second. Okay. So there we go. That's the ARM template. Type is databases. That seems fine. Something is a bit dodgy here. Equal server, databases. Properties and SKU. Okay, it needs properties and it needs a SKU. Okay, well, let's see, properties and SKU. Okay, I think we can actually just deploy this one and see what happens. That should be fine, right? Everything has a default value. Okay, so let's see. Let's maybe give them a default values. Because the login here, let's say, for instance, Fani renders, for instance. And the password should be something like, I don't know, underscore, 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 super strong password. Like that. That should be fine, right? I run our application again. And we should have that. Now, the power of AZ. Don't have AZ installed, come on. Lucky for me, there is a Cloud Shell. Need to log in. Copy this code. We need to device login. Microsoft.com device login. Oh, that one. Place that in there. Log in with my account. Okay, now signed in. Go back here. And I should be able to get back. Okay. Now I need to find the right tenant. Golly. 1 second. Portal. Blah blah blah. Okay, this is my tenant here. The Rangers one. FB23. FB23, which is tenant 1. Oops. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is actually the Cloud Shell. Quite cool. Okay, so Alice. Okay. It doesn't help much because I wanna... AZ is not installed here. How can I do this? Maybe do this. Upload file. If those, I'm sure I can just do it. Or I don't have to do AZ blah 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 the whole time, man. Come on. Template. Do that. Now wait a sec. All services. Template deployment. What I want. Add. Now this is what we're going to be doing. I'm copy pasting this template that it was generated. Let's test. I'm gonna really say test blah blah blah, and in here I'm gonna just paste this in here. Everything looks fine. Okay, it validates. Add. Okay, it's save the templates. Now look here, deploy. It brings up this. Cool. Now I can choose my resource group. In this case I want to say sandbox. Is there anything on sandbox? I just want to see. Okay, fine. Then box. Okay, a bunch of things. I'm gonna clear these things. We'll just make another resource group called ARM sample. And we deploy this to West Europe. We're in create. Great. Done and done. I think this should be fine. So we should have let's just discard this, deploy resource group. We have ARM sample there. F1, we can choose about these list of things, which is cool. Capacity, we agree. Purchase. There were errors. Template validation failed. Doesn't depend on parent resource. And it depends on. I need to specify depends on. I would imagine that that is inferred. I think that was the next best thing. We can add it manually, I suppose. Edit the template. That's the only thing I'm going to add. Depends on. Depends on, I think that's an array, right? So here, what is it called here? So this was oh, okay, that's cool. That's okay. Save, purchase, really. Template validation failed. The template reference where's that template reference? Blah blah blah. I see, this is now okay. This is not implemented correctly. Still need some work, I would say. Because this database needs to be that. The server needs to be that. The name wasn't implemented correctly. The server farm is also not right, so we need to get the server farm going, which is the name didn't assign anything, so there's a bit of a problem. Overall, let's see. Website name. Okay, so let's maybe try this again. Okay, so what? Let's try this again, come on. Deploy. ARM sample, agree, purchase. Okay, so it's looking for oh my soul. Didn't it save it? Really? Oh my soul. That goes there. Name was a bug. I need to sort this bug out. And the SQL server was this. Variables server name. Not even in here. Depends on that. I think we need a database name instead of this random name. And the surname is this guy. I think that's the gist of it. Server name. And copy it, save it. Well, agree, purchase, validating. It's going through. Okay, conflict. Okay. Delete this deployment. Go to templates. Let's delete this guy. Test, test. Save this. Put everything there. Okay. Add. Refresh. Test. Deploy. Resource group is ARM sample. Agree. Purchase. Okay, so for some reason I did not provision this SQL name. It has a conflict or something. But it did deploy the stuff, at least. Almost there. Hosting plan. The SQL wasn't deployed. Interesting. So there's of course many bugs. I think this is not a bad way of doing it. And we can still work on this. One thing I want to do test the fact that if we go open debug, ARM Azure and ARM is here. I want ARM Azure to be a NuGet package. So for instance, if I go to local, do I have a local folder? Don't have a local folder. NuGet bolts. And remove these ones. So I want to say pack that one. Unpack that one. And go to my dev box. Source. This one's been debug ended.
Alright now, Glenn. I'm just happy I've never felt that before.
Come on, doesn't it want to pack? Rebuild. What the hell? This doesn't want to work. .NET pack. Doesn't have a version though. That works. There we go. That one will move to one. Let's just move them to that local NuGet bolt there. And then cd back. Go to cd armor Azure. And .NET pack here again. .NET pack. That should bring what? Okay, that should bring in that one, which is Azure open this one. Okay. Okay, so moment of truth. We don't need that one in there. Manage NuGet packages. Source is, oh, come on. Add local. Have to browse tediously to the local builds. This one. Update. Local. And we say Armor Azure install. That uses Armor. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that works. When you rebuild this, it succeeds, right? But I think when you run this, it will fail. Why? Because kind of needs a plugin system, I think, or something to work. Come on, what's happening here? Isn't running? Okay. These work. That worked, actually. Funny enough. There we go, there's my template. Done. That worked. That's how easy it is, and I think we can optimize this even more by not having this program thing in here. I'm still gonna keep it because it's kind of allows you to pass in arguments and stuff to make it cool. But also, we could play around with the SDK thing, so we could say Armor SDK here, and we can just have it specify Armor Azure, and it should just work. Because that SDK could give you this program out of the box. You know? You just have your template. Okay, I'm gonna check this in. Load. Is even needed. Remove this one. This is not needed anymore. We're not gonna do the console app. I think that's simple enough to get somewhere. Schemas. Don't need that. Sample. Let's clear up a few things because here's old stuff. CR generation, ARM analyzer that we've been playing around with. Let's clear stuff up a bit. And abstractions. Boom. Boom. All this stuff we can clean. This is still build. That still builds. Let's go git add and git commit message initial version ready. Well, sort of. And there's a git push. As simple as that. That should be fine, right? That should be fine, I would say. Go back to the .NET AZ. Have maybe we can rename this. Do something. Can you do that? Maybe sign in quickly. Done. Settings. Let's say armor. Blah blah blah. How do I save this now? Rename. Okay, it's armor. Right, so the folks that want to follow along, there's the repo, and with that, we are going to go. So yet again, Farney.live, follow me if you want to see more of these ad hoc kind of streams. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going quickly to Twitch. Let's just share my screen there again. But lost all my viewers now, but fine, that's not a bad thing. Let me just quickly see. Let me see.
Already letting it up. One. Full viewer. On.
Okay, so what am I looking
That's a new map. It's
for?
corrupted
Is this...
too. I'm a Jama. Much as I need to stock it in the region. Else to show up. What else is it? It'd be either 3 or 4. I know it doesn't show up at 2.
For some reason it's not picking up. But let's see who is here to actually to raid a bit with our 2 viewers that we have. I think it's also very good to do. Discover. What am I doing? Let's go to science and technology. Who is here? So who should we raid here? Let's see. Holding a 3D snake. Zero zip sleesh. Copy. I'm just gonna raid him and see what happens. Raid channel. Boom. That guy, start raid. We have 2 viewers, come on. Gonna stop the music here. Yeah, so for instance, there we go. Oh well. Did it raid? Raid now. Okay, now we're raiding. Hey guys, have fun. Have a good night. Thank you so much for watching. There we go. I don't think this guy catched me, but have fun. He's building a snake. So I'll catch you guys again. Either this week or next week. I'm out. I need to go to sleep. So have a good night and take care. Thank you so much for watching again.